Today we're going to speak about series. Series are the sum of any sequence. We don't call it sequence. If we have addition sign in between, then we call it series. When the terms of a sequence are added, the resulting expression is called series. Summation notation, also called sigma notation, it is used to write series. This letter there or shape there is called sigma. Okay? This sigma would have three parts that are very important. It is very important to know how to write the summation notation when we want to have the series. Why? Because it is extremely boring if you're going to add terms up to 100 or terms up to the 20th term. You cannot just write them and then put them on your calculator and start doing 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 11 plus 13 plus 15 and so on. So what am I going to do? There are three things, as we said, that are very important after putting my sigma. Number one is the lower limit, which means the first term. What is the place of the first term? The place of the first term is number 1. This is the first term. Can I start adding from the second, the third? Of course, depending on what you're going to write here. So this is your lower term. What about the number up here? It is the number of terms you're going to add. If you're going to add 4 terms, 5 terms, or whatever. So I'm going to have 4. I'm going to add only up till here. See here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 terms that I'm going to add. 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8. Only. So I'm going to add 4 terms. Then we come to the part that you all really don't like, which is finding a rule. When you look at your sequence without having those addition signs, I see 2, 4, 6, 8. What do I see? I see a sequence that is 2 plus. So it is going to be 2i. That's my rule. If you put those on your calculator using shift and one of the top buttons, you're going to find the sigma. And then you're going to plug in those, all of them. The 4, the 2, x, and here you're going to have x as well on your calculator. You're going to automatically get the answer without having to do it one by one. Let's take another example for that. Writing the series with summation notation. 1 plus 4 plus 9 plus 16 plus up to infinity. So, as we said, I'm going to have 3 things that I have to write. Number 1 is, I'm going to start with the first term, a1. So I'm going to have I equal 1. And then, up to infinity, do I know how many terms? I don't know how many terms. So, I have to put the infinity sign. And then, back to the part where we said, we have to look for the rule. What is my rule? 1, 4, 9, 16. What do I notice about those numbers? Those are called the square numbers, which means that each one of them is a square of a number. 1 is square of 1, 4 is square of 2, 9 is square of 3, 16 square of 4, so it is the square of n. That's why I have I squared. If I put this on the calculator, I'll get an error. Why? Because as long as I don't have a number here, the calculator cannot find it. So, for this part, we're going to have a rule later on. Now, let's see for this example. Minus 2 plus 4 minus 6 plus whatever comes here. What is that? It has a negative, so it's not a sum. No, it is a sum. Because the first term is negative 2, while the second is plus 4. I am adding the terms, regardless of the sign of the term. It is still called series, because it is a sum. He did not tell me how many of those. He just told me that up to, when you reach 20, you stop. How do I know that this 20 is which term? I try and find a rule, and we said to find a rule for such a thing that goes up and down, minus plus, I'm going to have negative 1, remember, n as my exponent. Why? Because I'm starting with a negative. And then I disregard the signs and look at the numbers. 2, 4, 6, so it's going to be 8, 10, so it is 2n. So, in order to get the 20, 2n equals 20, so my n is equal to 10. So that is the number I'm going to put up here. n equal 1, and then up here 10, and then I'm going to have a rule and put it on my calculator, and I'm going to get an answer. Last one here, 1 over 3 plus 2 over 4 plus 3 over 5 up till the 12 over 14. Still, it did not tell me how many terms are those. I'm going to try and find out how many terms. I know that this is 1, 2, first term, 1 up there in the numerator. And A2, I have 2 in my numerator. 3 as my numerator. So definitely 12 is my 12th term. So I have the 12 up here. I write the sigma, and then I write n equal 1. I started from 1, and then finding a rule. What is my rule? 1, 2, 3, so this is n, of course. And what about the 3, 4, 5? Okay, they go the difference of 1, so it is n. And then how many plus? From the 1 up to the 3, I have 2, so it is plus 2. And that is my rule.